I'm never forgiving that person. It is unforgivable what they did, and I am not going to give them the benefit of my forgiveness. Have you ever felt that way or said those words or something similar? Let's talk about forgiveness. When we forgive somebody else for something that they have done, who does it benefit? Does it benefit that person? Or does it benefit ourselves? Sometimes, maybe both. Sometimes the other person doesn't even know we're holding the grudge and they couldn't care less. It's not affecting them in one way or another. It's affecting us energetically, though, because we're holding on to that. Remember, the first requisite of change is release. Let go of the negative emotions, the limiting beliefs, the grudges that we're holding on to, because that's holding us back energetically. It gets in the way of what we want to accomplish. Now, there are times offering our forgiveness frees more than just us. Maybe that other person needed to be able to hear that they were forgiven, right? Maybe they needed to be able to experience that unconditional love, be able to know that we're big enough, strong enough to be able to offer that love. Forgiveness does not mean accepting the person. Forgiveness does not mean condoning the behavior. The forgiveness does not mean accepting the behavior. It could be that what the person did is never going to be accepted. It doesn't have to be accepted. It's simply allowing us to energetically disconnect from that person, from that deed that was done. The forgiveness process that I use is called Ho'oponopono. I will put in the comments the link to Dr. Matt's 7-minute Ho'oponopono so that if anyone is interested in, trying it out, you can go ahead and do that. Because I'm going to put the link in the process, I'm going to go over what the process is so that you can follow along with the link. It's very powerful. My son went to Russia. 2 weeks later, the war broke out. I was working with a coach at the time and got on the session, and he asked me what was going on, and I shared with him that I was very nervous about my son, right? The situation. I had no control over it, zero control over it. What he recommended to me was doing an anxiety model, which is some timeline work, and he sent me a link for it. And then he said, I want you to do Ho'oponopono. And when you do Ho'oponopono and you call your son up on stage and have a conversation with him and tell him, take care of yourself while you're over there. Know that I love you, that I care about you, and I want you to come back safely. And I did these 2 processes that he asked me to do. And what was so amazing to me is that I did not worry about him again. He was there for 3 months. I did not worry about him again. I had this peace inside me. I just knew that everything was going to be okay and that he was going to come back all right. The Ho'oponopono is such a big part of that process, and I use it all the time, all the time. I use it with my clients. I use it with my family. I use it with, when I was working, I used it with my, my staff, my coworkers, because it allows you to be able to create the energy connection. Now, if you're interested in really getting deep in it, I'm going to go just very, big picture on the process. Dr. Matt does have on YouTube a video that actually goes into detail about what Ho'oponopono is and why it's effective and, the ancient Hawaiian roots of it and all of that. I'm simply going to kind of describe to you the process so you know what you're getting into when you listen to the video, right? So the first thing you do is you see yourself standing on a stage. White light healing energy, top of your head, drops all the way down to your feet, fills you and overflows this white light here, healing energy. This is pure positive energy. Then what happens is you connect with the Aka connection, which is your heart connection, right? So you just create this imaginary connection from your heart. You create the stage in front of you and below you, and you start calling people onto the stage and you connect with them, your heart chakra to their heart chakra, and you fill them up with this healing white light of pure positive energy. And then you say, right, I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me too. I love you. I forgive you. Please forgive me too. Now, when I'm working with clients, if it's something that's really traumatic, I don't bring in the I love you because I don't want to be triggering them when we're doing it. Most of the time, I will bring it in if it's something that I know is a traumatic event. I do not bring in the I love you. I just simply bring in the I forgive you. Please forgive me too. That's all I do. It's just then you bring in each person on stage one at a time, or you can bring in a group of people. It could be all my family or all the people I work with, or and then you go through this process with all of them. Then you collect the Aka connections, right? You just grab them all up and bring them all together and see this white light of healing energy come down as a sharp blade and cut the connections. And when it cuts the connections, right now, all the people on the stage have instantly disappeared. And the Aka connections just reabsorb back into yourself, the white light healing energy. And now each person, as you think about them, you reconnect them and you reconnect with them with a clear, pure energy connection. That's the benefit, is that you've cleared that energy connection. People that you love, right? Your family, your spouses, your partners. I do this every day, and that means every day you get up and you start with a brand new energy connection. How cool is that? This is Rebecca with Mind Over Matter Hypnosis. See you tomorrow.